Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dawn Patrol. Apparently my hair is falling down. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host, and I'm joined by Eileen Delrossi, my co-host. Hi, Eileen.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Cliff. Good morning, John.
How are things on Christian Hill?
Very windy, very, very cold.
Yeah.
Even yesterday, I was doing errands and, I was over on Gorham Street and I was on Lakeview Ave. And then I came to my house and the difference of just being across the street at a park, from where I live, and it was crazy. At least 15 degrees different with the wind.
Ah.
My poor Santa Claus keeps falling down.
Yeah. Well, the low today was supposed to be 18. It was 20 when I parked here at the studio, looking for a high of 22. Sunny, no precip. Okie doke. So Thursday evening, the U.S. national debt was about $38.5 trillion. Always upward. On this day in 1901, I'm not sure how to pronounce this guy's first name. Marconi. You know Marconi, Eileen?
Yeah, we were, out, hanging out at the dance studio back in 1800. Yep, we go way back.
He received...
No, I have no clue who he is.
Oh, he received the first transatlantic radio signal, the letter S in Morse code, at Signal Hill in St. John's, Newfoundland. So Marconi is the guy that gave us radio.
Okay.
In 1917, Father Edward J. Flanagan founded Boys Town as a farm village for wayward boys. It used to be a big deal, Boys Town.
Yeah, it has its own movie.
It is, yep. 1941, during World War II, 54 Japanese A6M0 fighters raided Batangas field in the Philippines. Jesus Villamor and 4 Filipino fighter pilots fended them off. Cesar Basso was killed, and Villamor, they named the Air Force base adjacent to Manila Airport after Jesus Villamor.
Cliff, I got a story this week. I bet you many people don't know about the Jap Zero.
Yeah?
We got our first completely operational Jap Zero because a Japanese pilot, by mistake, landed on one of our aircraft carriers. And that's how we got the Jap Zero, and to get to study it and find out its flaws. And once we found out its flaws, it was not difficult to defeat at all.
That is interesting. But people sometimes land at the wrong place.
Well, that saved a lot of American pilots' lives.
Yep.
Because the Jap Zero was unbeatable until we found out how it was made and we knew where to strike it. We could cut the wing right off the thing.
So, in 1941, as part of the planning for the Holocaust, Adolf Hitler declared the imminent extermination of the Jews at a meeting of the Reichschancellery. And so in January of 42, the next month, they convened the Weimar Conference at the the Wannsee Conference at Wannsee. And worked out the details and proceeded downhill from there. On this day in 1915, Frank Sinatra was born. He passed away in 1998. On this day in 1204, Maimonides, a Jewish physician, philosopher, and scholar, passed away. He was born in 1135. He was in North Africa, very bright man. In 1968, Tallulah Bankhead passed away. She'd been born in 1902. Did you ever see the movie Lifeboat, John?
Doesn't come to mind.
Eileen. Oh, she's...
Is that the one with Goldie Hawn?
No. It's the one with
no,
Tallulah
then no, I
Bankhead.
did not see Lifeboat.
No. Tallulah Bankhead's father was a senator from Alabama. Today is the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah, they started celebrating yesterday in California.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of people devoted to Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yep. I think her apparitions were in the first half of the 1500s in Mexico. So, reading the news, I have the impression the $1 billion welfare scandal in Minnesota now includes Maine. Did you see that, Eileen? Sort of a kleptocracy going on?
All right, the welfare scandal?
Yeah.
No, can you refresh my memory on what is going on there?
Yeah. Apparently out in Minnesota, a lot of people were scamming the welfare system and diverting money to their personal pleasure, and some of the money was going to terrorist organizations in Somalia.
Well, makes sense. When you look at the state of this country, makes sense.
Somalia is a corrupt government country.
It is.
So,
But in addition, it's very fractional, very tribal, and they have trouble getting it together.
when you have the government stealing from its people, it can't move forward. Good morning, Jose.
Okay.
Did you leave the door unlocked for Eileen?
I did.
So, the
My nose won't stop bleeding.
my question is, what did Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota know, and when did he know it? And I think the answers are, he knows nothing, and therefore he never knew anything.
Plausible
Jose,
deniability.
take a jacket off and come on in and join us.
It's called plausible deniability, Cliff.
Yeah. So, City Journal wrote, this is a reminder that not all cultures are equal. Minnesota's political structures were designed for Scandinavians, who are famously industrious with a high level of social trust that allows them to sustain ambitious welfare programs with little abuse. And here we are. Jose Cervantes has joined us. Is it cold out there, Jose?
It's a little chilly. Yes,
Jose
sir.
again forgot his tie.
Yes. You know what? Since 5 o'clock yesterday, I've been on the phone with Verizon till about 1 in the morning.
What's the matter?
I got a new phone. They were just supposed to activate it, turned into give us 5 minutes, give us 5 minutes. And somehow they screwed up my replacement phone, so now I have no cell service at all.
So you got to go to the Verizon store.
Somebody's going to get an earful when they open up. At
I
8
would go to
o'clock
the
this morning.
Verizon. No, don't. Go to the Verizon store. They'll fix it in a jiffy.
I hope so, because they told me they couldn't even do anything for me at the Verizon store, that I had to wait till the 13th at midnight. I'm not going 2 days without a phone.
I'm with you.
John, where
What?
is your Verizon store?
I go to the one at the mall. There's one at the beach too.
The mall?
There's
What-
one. Yeah, I haven't been to the one at the Methuen Mall,
Oh,
whatever
okay.
it's called there. And but my favorite one's down the beach next to Market Basket.
There's another one in that little plaza by Walmart.
Oh, yes. There is where the
Never
fish
been in
store
that
is.
one.
Yeah.
And there's one on my side of the bridge and when the Market Basket Plaza is also. Good morning, Jose.
How you doing today? I like
Good,
going to
too.
the one over there by the Crumble down the street from the Fezzoline Mall. That's a corporate store, and they actually help you out.
Yeah,
better.
they all help you. They'll help
Yeah, no, just the corporate stores can do a little more than the other ones.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you end up talking to somebody in the Philippines at one point?
India.
India. Well, I fight with AT&T every month because they're charging me for a phone that I returned, and I have the tracking number that confirms it. So they'll shut my phone off, and then I'll call them, and I'll have to do similar to what you did. Like, I think a few weeks ago, I was on the phone for a total of, I want to say, 6 to 8 hours. And I finally, when I got to talk to somebody, I was like, I would like reparations for my time on the phone with AT&T here.
Yeah, that's what they said to me. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna write a ticket. We're gonna take care of you." I just want my.
Had the same problem with Comcast. Trying to get my bill straightened out with them. I wanted them to go on auto pay. Girl says you can't do that on the phone. You have to come into the store. My wife, she said, no, do it this way. So you call back and I asked for billing. Talked to the automated billing person, and we're getting automatic pay now.
It's frustrating, but what can you do? It's out of my hands.
So, Eileen,
Yes.
a couple weeks ago, your niece was the junior mayor at city council, is that right?
Yeah, Rowan. Yes. Yes, she's a great, great kid. Because she gets good grades, she's part of the community. She does a lot for the Girls and Boys Club. So she was Miss Mayor.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So-
Yeah, I'm not sure 100% all the specifics, but yeah, I was very, very proud of her. She's a great young lady, and I love seeing her do like all the great things.
So I found out how is it that Greater Lowell keeps getting the mayor of the day. So when they have the radiothon, they auction off mayor of the day.
Oh, okay.
Eric Gittier comes in with a blank check, and no matter what the bid is for mayor of the day, he beats it so that Greater Lowell, this Greater Lowell student, can get mayor of the day. I thought that was pretty cool.
It is.
You could see his commitment to the kids when he does something
Yeah.
like that.
Maybe he's going to get paid. Or not, maybe he's going to get paid. They passed a thing where he's going to get paid.
Yeah,
And so's McDonough. He's going to get paid too.
they should. Just because you're a city, work for the city.
And if the city manager comes back with, oh, we can't do that, it's against the law. I'm going to ask, well, look at Mr. Manager, have you read your own city bylaws? Did you know your vehicle is supposed to be marked as a city of Lowell vehicle? And he's going, but I didn't know that. He doesn't talk to me anyway.
What I heard already is that it's not a town thing, it's actually at the state level. So they're gonna send out a letter to the state, and they're gonna try to pass it here no matter what, but actually try to change it, with surrounding communities, because it's a state law where if you're a city official, you don't get paid. So that's what I heard from
If
the
you're an
meeting.
employee of the,
Yes, not official, yes. If you're an employee of the city, then you don't get paid. But I guess they're going to try to actually change it, get surrounding communities to write a letter and get the legislator to actually change it statewide. Which that'd be pretty cool because you should get paid. City council is a pretty demanding job if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
It's not just a Tuesday job. You guys have heard me say it time and time again. It's an everyday job.
so I hope it's going to come to fruition.
I'm with you 1,000%.
So, way out in Washington State, about 4 years ago, the there were some issues in the city with Black Lives Matter, Antifa, those crowds. They set up an 8-block Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, or the other, so Chaz or CHOP, sometimes called. And the police and 911 emergency vehicles did not enter the autonomous zone during this period. And then some young 16-year-old boy is driving a car. He gets shot. He gets shot 8 times. His companion was shot once, survived.
Was this in Lowell?
No, Seattle, Washington.
Ah.
So the parent, the father in this case, has sued the city of Seattle for allowing this unrest to go on, and we'll see how that goes. That'll be kind of interesting.
Set the precedents for a lot of other things too. If they win the case, which I don't see why they wouldn't. The city, they need to take some sort of responsibility for allowing that to happen. 16-year-old kid too.
Yeah.
That's awful.
So but back closer to home in New York, a group of parents and educators have sued New York Attorney General Letitia James over a letter viewed as threatening those who are raising transgender policy issues in public meetings. So the letter from Letitia James, a prudence letter, warns school boards that discussing student trans issues at public meetings could violate the right to privacy to affected students, and if board members engage in such public discussions, they may be removed by state education officials. So in essence, we're shutting down the First Amendment for school boards over trans issues. That doesn't seem very good.
Not going to pass.
Well, she's written a letter, but she's being sued.
Well, I mean, the late, great George Anthes would tell you, you could sue a ham sandwich. That don't mean he's going to win in court.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure that violates some sort of laws too, disclosing.
Well, no, it's free speech. You can talk about anything you want. You could talk about the quality of the toilet paper in the transgender bathroom if you want to. If you can get that on the city council agenda, I don't know if the city council has an open forum. Talk about whatever you want, but
I just mean on if they're disclosing like the students' names that are transitioning, like there has to be some sort of.
well, first of all, a student who's younger than 18 shouldn't be considered for transitioning. They're nowhere near an adult.
You have to be 18 to get a tattoo. Or you don't have to be to make such a big life decision.
I think that should be restricted to age. That's my own personal opinion.
yeah, I agree with you. 18's a good cutoff. Give you a chance to think about issues. The human brain is not really mature until 23, 24.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I mean,
Yeah.
even to buy cigarettes nowadays, you have to be 21 here in Massachusetts. But to make a decision, a life-altering decision, you can't reverse that.
Now, so this was concerning to me. Some guy I don't know, J. Michael Walker, is a senior analyst for strategy at the Center for Security at the Center for Security Policy, said last week that the risk of terror attacks in the United States is by far the most grave in our history. Now, that was pretty sobering. Anyway, Waller said that our detection and enforcement systems are overwhelmed. We're not just talking about individual terrorists and jihadists, but organized terror networks, and not good. I mean, we've already had two National Guardsmen shot, one killed. We had the guy arrested for making bomb threats down in Texas. I don't know that Christmas is going to be all jolly here. What do you think?
Well, last time I checked, the doomsday clock was closer to striking midnight than ever. Or since World War II or something like that. It's been a long time. So they're definitely,
Jose, what religion are you?
I was raised Catholic.
Okay, I was raised Catholic, but I hung around a bunch of Protestant kids, and the end is near, is what's been put in my ear since 7th grade. The end is near. And my grandmother, who used to babysit me when I went home, well, she was home when we got home, and she said, you could die tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Catholics have to be prepared all the time, and Protestants seem to be on the lookout.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right.
And so they've been looking. Doomsday has always been here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I grew up, that's why it's like everything you do, be prepared, because it might be the last thing you do.
Yep.
Like literally every day, that's...
No, they'll say these are the final days.
Yes.
These are the final days. How about you, Cliff? You're a multi-religion guy. What did you grow up learning? These the final
Roman
days,
Catholic,
or just...
Yeah, that the end times are out there somewhere. But around 1970, Martha was doing a Bible study with a bunch of people, some whom I knew, a couple of whom I knew, and they were into the late great planet Earth, and the idea that there are signs that these are the end times. For instance, the gathering of Jews in Israel. One sign we haven't seen yet is the reestablishment of the Jewish temple. So, but
That's going to cost a lot of money. A lot of money.
on the other hand, they have managed to grow a couple of red heifers that are necessary for sacrifice for purification of the temple.
Well, when they dig up the dough to fix the temple, then we can be concerned. Okay, from the audience, how much money did Black Lives Matter steal?
Oof.
Where did the parents of the... Where were the parents of the 16-year-old? Moving right along. Cisco's having some fun this morning.
Wait, let me add to that last comment and then we'll move on. His mother was out of the picture. His father was raising him, and he wanted to be part of making things better, so he ran away from home.
Oh.
All set?
Yep.
Okay. Now, Cisco says this. Jose, you don't need a cell phone. Just look for a payphone and call home. Second one, Cisco says, the city manager drives a police vehicle. Just flag him down for help. And his last one is they should pay us, city councilors. If you work, you should get paid. I hope our state legislators pass a law to change to make it happen soon. And those are all of our comments up to the moment.
Yeah. So, yeah. The only thing I take from the article about dangerous times is that people should be aware of their surroundings. When you go into a place, you ought to look at it. You ought to ask yourself, how do I exit this place if I have to? But just be aware of your surroundings. If there's a lot of strange things going on, that's not necessarily bad, but you should perk up just a little bit.
Always have an exit plan.
Yes.
Somebody said that to me recently. They're like, we were talking about, people, and they're like, we walk into a room and I see people and I say hello. You walk into a room and you see all the exits, you see all the crews, you see all the little groups, you see who's who, and it's like, well, yeah, that's how. Maybe now after talking to John, now maybe it's because I'm just waiting for the end of times around the corner, so I have to be hyper vigilant of everything that's going on.
But if it's the end of times, that's not going to help you,
No.
because half the people, I don't know, some portion of the people are going to be taken straight to heaven, and everyone's going to go, what? And others will be left.
Cliff, recent articles from the Vatican suggest everyone's going to purgatory first.
Well, with this lot, yes. That'd be good. Anyway, the Western Journal had an article about the mayor-elect of New York City, Zohan Mamdani. He announces a plan. Well, wait, before we go on, Eileen, what's your position on end times and all that?
When I was growing up, everyone said when it turned the year 2000, we were all going to die.
Y2K.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the end is near. It's all going to end. I remember it hitting midnight and it was like nothing happened.
Fear equates control.
2 comments from the audience. What about global warming? Should we all be worried about that killing us?
I don't think so.
Has Cliff ever heard of retired Air Force Colonel Roxanne Towers Watkins? And I will add to that, and was she in the Key Club?
I would never ask a question like that.
So do you know this Roxanne Towers Watkins?
No, I don't.
Okay, so likely...
But does she live in the local area? Maybe she could come in and tell us about her career in the Air Force, where she's been.
When I met Cliff like 55 years ago, he told me the Key Club story.
Ooh, let's hear it. Is it safe for TV?
He's unwilling to say it on television.
Okay, we'll talk about it after.
The idea of a Key Club is that a group of couples get together
Oh,
and you
okay.
throw...
Isn't that the swinger thing?
Upside down pineapple.
Oh,
It's kind of swinger thing. Let Cliff roll it out there. This is an Air Force. Air Force is famous for this.
No, it's not famous.
If you guys could see the smile on John's face.
Well, tell us about the Key Club.
You throw your key in the hat, and then they shake it up, and
You get a new partner.
you get a new partner for the night.
Yep, upside down pineapple. You ever see
Do you want to share your experiences with that with us, Cliff?
I just did.
That was it.
I had no experience.
Oh, hold on. Before we get to... Good morning, Cisco. I didn't even... How you doing, brother? I'll give you a call later on.
Okay, so the Western Journal says that Zohan Mamdani, the mayor-elect, is going to give homeless free rein. His base, they say his base is already turning on him. I don't see that yet. But he's saying, camp where you wish, there'll be no cleanups. And he told reporters in a news conference in Manhattan Thursday he plans to reverse outgoing Mayor Eric Adams' policy of cleaning up makeshift homeless camps in the city. We'll see if that catches on.
Didn't they try something similar like that in San Francisco where they had like 10 cities
Yeah,
type of thing, and they ended up cleaning that up too because it was kind of, it was getting out of control, no?
they did.
Yeah, I remember seeing a documentary on that.
I don't know anything about this story, but it's worth showing you guys. Former LHF athletic trainer acquitted. Judge finds Amato not guilty of indecent assault following a bench trial,
But he
Another-
faces another trial.
but acquitted so far. I know
Yeah.
he faces another trial, but usually once you burst the first bubble, the other bubbles burst as well.
So the Supreme Court has signaled some support for President Trump's power to fire federal agency leaders, which would overturn a 90-year precedent from when Franklin Roosevelt was president. And it's called Humphrey Executor, and he was a Federal Trade Commission member. But one of the Supreme Court justices, Ketanji Brown Jackson, argued that we don't want elected officials getting in the way of the professionals in the federal bureaucracy. So that's sort of where it sits. It's sort of, do you want your elected officials to be able to change things? The president, for instance? Or are we all for a professional civil service that is supposedly nonpartisan and not moving in either direction? So this will be an interesting outcome. See how this goes.
Yeah, because that's when you have to ask yourself, then the administration has been doing a lot of things that, haven't been done in a long time, but maybe they're just not afraid of the whole, you're setting the president's narrative, because if he's doing it, what about the next administration?
Oh, yeah.
So we got to be careful with that. One thing might be good in a second, but what about long term, So you could use that to fearmonger elected officials. Look at the Fed chair, where he's just pretty much like, you're gone. If you don't drop the interest rate, this and that. Like, do we want to give wouldn't that infringe in our checks and balances to a degree?
Yeah.
So, we got to be careful, because sometimes we get blind support for somebody and we don't see the long term of it. Oh, I thought she was jumping in.
So next year, 2026, is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And to commemorate that, the Treasury is apparently looking to issue a commemorative coin, and some Democratic senators are moving to block the Treasury Department from putting Donald Trump on the coin by saying no living or serving president should come out on a commemorative coin. So
Didn't Caesar do that?
yeah,
Some people claim that was the beginning of the downfall once they started.
Beginning of the who?
Of the downfall of the Roman Empire. Because when people started getting the coin and, some of their spheres of influences with Caesar on it, they started seeing it like, oh, well, hold on, we're under the complete authoritarian rule of the Roman
My
Empire.
little study of the Roman Empire was to make counterfeiting more difficult.
Yes.
Up to then, they just would fork over a little pebble of gold. And whether it was really gold or not, you didn't know.
Yeah.
But to make a coin, and people knew what Caesar looked like, just seemed like a good idea. I think we should have a $25 bill, and the spouse of the president should be on that.
Mm.
The spouse of the current president should be on that $25 bill. And I bet you there'd be a lot of 25s that would just go in storage. Because I don't think we're going to get one this good looking again.
My daughter was just saying the
Just
other
my
day,
take.
She wants them to bring back the $2 bill,
That's a waste of
which
time.
is like, why? And she's 14, you know.
$2 bill, I use them every week.
I get a $2
For what?
bill, it gets put away.
Second collection,
You put a $2 bill in?
2 of them.
Why don't you put a 5 in?
And how do you
Because
have
it's
so many-
more fun putting in two $2 bills.
How do you have so many $2 bills?
I order them from TD Bank.
You can do that.
Yeah.
But why don't you
Sometimes
get
it takes a couple days.
The dollar coin. Throw in 2 of those.
Good before.
I was asked to stop clogging it up with coins.
Oh, that was a yesteryear thing. Well, what I do is if the sermon is boring, I fold up the money like a flag into a triangle to let the pastor know he was boring.
The only thing I've done in that line is I once timed a sermon that ran 26 minutes and a few seconds.
See, the
And
ice
I
bucket
wrote
challenge
that
should
number
be.
down on a 5x8 card and taped it to his filing cabinet.
Wow.
What did it say?
The 26 minutes and some odd seconds.
That's when we should implement the ice bucket challenge. Once the sermon goes over 7 minutes, ice bucket challenge time.
Oh, you guys crack me up.
No, I mean, I get a kick out of the Catholic Church because, and I tell this to all the pastors that are lucky to have their ear. Why don't you have one of your very dedicated and loving parishioners do the homily? First of all, you're going to get up there and you're going to tell me a story I've heard 60 times.
Mm.
I've heard this story 60 times. You've been the pastor for how many years? 12. I've heard the same homily 12 times. Now, why don't we have a very religious person like Martha Krieger get up and give her 6-minute homily of what the gospel was?
See, if you were a Protestant, you would say, give her testimony.
See, one of Cliff's hobbies is correcting people.
I wasn't
marking that down,
correcting
Cliff.
you, I was
That's the first one.
broadening your horizon.
First one today, Cliff. Number 1. I'm sure we'll get 4 out of him before the show's over.
We'll write it on a piece of paper and put it on his
No, I got 1 so far. We're good. 1 correction.
So,
And I was talking about Martha, too. He's in trouble.
So, a majority of voters approve of the Trump administration's military strikes against drug smuggling vessels near the coast of Venezuela, but most Democrats want to impeach Secretary of War Pete Hegseth over the policy.
In public. I bet you they really don't care.
Oh.
But you put a microphone in their face, they care.
The only pushback I heard on that was the quote-unquote double tap mission they had, where they just seen the guys sitting there shooting, they came back and finished them off. It's on the left media, that was the major pushback that I heard, at least, was that
Jose,
was
I'll put this into your ear. Watching Private Ryan, the movie Private Ryan. You have this German guy that they've captured, pleads for his life. They're a little short-handed, so they take the guy's weapons away, take his helmet, take everything off him that could possibly harm somebody, and they let him walk back to his lines. He comes back later on in Private Ryan and kills at least 2 of the people that let him go. It's a war. Sorry. Shouldn't have been on that boat. You're dead. And if you watch Private Ryan, tell me, yeah, that was the right thing to let him go. Yeah, that was the right thing to let him come back and kill at least 2 of the party that let him go.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him go. But yeah, no, I mean, you're right, but they say that that violates the Geneva Convention.
Yep.
Where they should have, rescued them and locked them up and brought them to trial.
I look at it as they're thinking that the target is the 2 men. And it's not. I mean, every mission has got a task and a purpose. And the task was to sink the boat, and the purpose was to impede drugs coming into the United States. They didn't sink the boat and sink the drugs on the first attack, so the second attack sank the boat, sank the drugs. That accomplished the purpose. Those 2 people were collateral damage. And collateral damage has been around for a long time. Those things happen.
So what do we do with collateral damage?
We try and minimize it.
And we didn't do that, did we?
Yeah.
You see, it's all narrative because...
Well, explain to the audience how we try to make it better.
We didn't wait for the boat to get back into harbor where the second attack would have killed more people. We finished it there.
Understood.
It raises a question. If you torpedo a boat and it loses forward momentum, it's sort of just sitting out there, are you going to finish and sink the ship, or are you going to let it repair itself and re-enter the fight? And I say you sink the ship. Go ahead, John.
No, I had another one come up. I'll get the third one up, then we'll do them all.
Okay. Are you still there, Eileen? Apparently not.
She might be
Yes,
transitioning.
I'm here. I'm heading in. I should be there shortly.
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's talk about impeaching Hegseth. There's those 6 Congress people that said, remember, you don't obey an unlawful order. Like, we didn't all know that. That was...
Do they teach that in Air Force School?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know the unlawful orders? Is there a list?
Well, I know that if I was ordered to bomb a dam in 1966, that would be unlawful.
Okay, so I'm going to read these. President Trump could put God in charge of something, and the Democrats, I guess that's Democrats, would have an issue with it. So the church is getting picky on money that gets donated to them. Interesting. This is the first time I heard you guys were surrendering. I heard the guys were surrendering. I didn't know they were surrendering. How would you know? But at any rate, the narrative is on the drug boats that are all fishing vessels. Just look at the media. It's putting its spin on the oil tanker. Back to you guys.
So back to the drug boat. Did we have resources in the area where we could have gone in and scooped those 2 guys up?
Yep.
What
They're
resources?
called helicopters.
Yeah? From where?
The ones that blew the boat out of the water were helicopters. The same attacking helicopters could have rescued them.
Yeah.
See, and again, it's all narrative. What I heard was that, they attacked the boat. The two guys were sitting there, pretty much hoping to get rescued or struggling for their life, clearly not armed. And the helicopter swam back around and was like, hey, finished off the job. Not that the boat was just kind of like, oh, you missed. And they were like, oh, well, we got to finish the job. That it was actually, and again, it's all narrative. There's three sides to every story. We've all heard that. That they deliberately came back to, by finish off the job, I mean,
Yeah.
take out the two individuals, not to take out the boat,
Yeah.
And again, it's all narrative. That you're gonna hear one thing like Jay. I think it was Jay just said that. No matter what Trump does, is gonna get spun. No matter what the other side does. I mean, that's just the world we live in today.
If you go and you make it your approach to kill the two guys, then you still have to go back and sink the drug boat. Killing the two guys doesn't finish the job. It doesn't make sense.
No. I'm
So,
gonna stop tossing that word impeachment.
I'm trying to
for
think of the
everything.
movie that Charles Durning was in. And Charles Durning was a senator in this movie. And it's a fictitious movie. They went back in time. So the current aircraft carrier Nimitz was sent back to the day before Pearl Harbor in the waters in the Pacific. And Charles Durning was a senator. They pick up Charles Durning in a helicopter because the Jap Zeros had sunk his boat and had killed everybody on the boat. But him and his girlfriend were left. So they rescue him and his girlfriend, and Durning decided that he didn't want to go to the island he was living. He wanted to go to the aircraft carrier. And he demanded with a flare gun to bring the helicopter to the boat. And accidentally, the flare gun went off, and it blew up the helicopter, killing all aboard, including Charles Durning. So if these guys had a flare gun and blew up the rescuing helicopter, would the media be happy?
yeah, I don't think the media will ever be happy. So,
No, you're right.
tomorrow is Saturday, December 13th, is Wreaths Across America Day, honoring those veterans who passed away. We have less than 5% of our population here is veterans in Massachusetts. Maine is over 8%. New Hampshire is between 6.9 and 7.9%. So I thought it was interesting. President Trump has been pointing out how he's been bringing peace around the world. And he even got a little honor from the FIFA people for his peace efforts. But that Ukraine war just keeps going on. And the war between Thailand and Cambodia, which I thought he'd solved, has broken out again. And the war between Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo, which he had, brought to a close, seems to have jumped out again. So it's tough to keep peace going. But, do you have any hope they're going to fix any of that?
No, because governments are corrupt.
Yeah. And even the Israel and Palestine, was that more of a peace treaty, or was it just one side was just so crippled that, they had to bend the knee?
Yeah.
I just find it interesting that so many people, are like, oh, we don't need to get involved in foreign affairs, which I think that as a world power, you have to have your hand in a little bit of everything. And now it's like the same people are, we need to stop this, we need to stop that. Which one is it? But it's a tough one. Some of these wars, some of these have been going on for 1,000 years. Have been going on a lot longer than this nation was even thought of. So it's tough to just come in and be, oh, I fixed it all. Did you though? Momentarily.
Well, there is something to be said for even a short peace.
Yes,
People are not dying,
absolutely.
and so we're coming up. It's December, January. The continuing resolution runs out, and apparently last night the Senate rejected the Republican and the Democratic plans for extending the Affordable Care Act. Right now we're doing it by just giving people money. The Affordable Care Act turned out to not be affordable.
Well, if you want to keep them happy, give them money. 2 comments from the audience. Remember all those sailors who were attacked by sharks during World War II? No one helped. Oh, those guys. Very true. 1980, The Final Countdown. That's the movie that Charles Durning was in that I talked about a little while ago. Thank you for telling me that.
So, I don't know. I think we need to admit that the Affordable Care Act didn't work out the way we planned. And
Because the medical side is corrupt.
Yes.
And no one wants to point fingers at the good doctor.
And Citizens United did not help by allowing these individuals to lobby, I mean, the lobbying in Washington has gotten out of control.
Yeah.
We worry more about corporations, whether it's big pharma or big tech, than we do about our own citizens. I mean, at least that's my outlook on that,
Some people look to places like England and Canada, which have national health operations, but in Canada, I was talking to someone last night who's got a sister brother-in-law waiting 8 months up in Nova Scotia to see a doctor. There's a lady out in Saskatchewan who needs an operation, but she needs to see a specialist to get approval for the operation. There are none available in Saskatchewan. So she's considering joining what they call the MAID program, MAID, which is assisted suicide, as her way of coping with her pain.
How many people do we have here in this country right now that are dying or living less than ideal because they can't afford their medication, going bankrupt because we don't have to necessarily model something that isn't perfect somewhere else, but we need to do something. And just sitting here, playing tug of war every 4 years or every 2 years on the other side's doing this, both sides are to blame on this. I mean, I think I said this last time during the shutdown when we were on here. The Affordable Care Act was a conversation starter, and both of them, both sides, never had a conversation. One side got complacent after the Affordable Care Act got passed, and the other side was too busy using it as a talking point to get elected to actually come up with a replace. You can't just yell repeal with no replace. These are millions of people with pre-existing conditions that will not get health care or that would get kicked off of health care. Come up with a better solution instead of just complaining, So again, I think both sides are equally to blame.
Well, we're in this game, and it's not going to end, and somebody has got to get a hold of the medical profession and just tell them, get your prices reasonable,
Yeah.
or we're going to do legislation to keep them reasonable.
They wouldn't do that because then they get goes back to Citizens United. It lines their pockets,
Yep.
I mean, that's the reality of it. And how is it that medication is cheaper in India than it is here when these corporations are over here sucking the taxpayers dry? How is that okay? We can't do that. But again, because we've become so divided on red versus blue, we can't even have a reasonable conversation of who the real quote-unquote enemy is here, which is the executives making $300 million in bonuses, just in bonuses.
We got 2 minutes to break.
So, one of the consequences of Donald Trump is that America's third largest employer is hemorrhaging talent. And third largest employer in the mind of the person who wrote this article was all the welfare agencies, the NGOs, the nonprofits. And because President Trump has cut back money, people are having to leave. So that impacts how people do, and it impacts those employees who now have to find alternative jobs. So, and that's about it. You got anything? Did you go to the Hunger Homeless Commission?
I did. I'd like to talk about that.
Next hour, let's talk about that.
Yes, that summit was great, and the meeting we had yesterday too. So, and then there was a lot of talk about different nonprofits and all that too, so we can kind of
dovetail those two together.
Yes, that'd be. I think.
I want to talk about Rodney's party too. Got a good crowd.
I'm here. Is the door open?
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Lock yourself in.
I wanted to go, but I was on the phone with Verizon, so I didn't get to make it last night. Did you go?
No.
No.
We're going to go to break. We'll be back. Thanks.
morning, everyone. Welcome to City Life Show. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host. Eileen Delrossi, my co-host.
Good morning.
And Jose Cervantes, man about town, is joining us. So, and our producer, John McDonough.
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, I had to go to the drugstore. So I went up to Bridge Street because I thought there was a Walgreens there. Turned out it's a CVS.
Oh, you didn't go further enough. So you're not used to coming out of Belvedere too much, are you?
No.
Wow.
So you take a right when you come down 110 there from the Huntsville Bridge, right? So the first one you see is the 24-hour CVS, and then you go right all the way past McPherson's, the back of Gage, and the Robinson McCullough. Keep going, and then there's a light, and then you go through it, and it's right on your right-hand side.
It's right there on
Sunrise Market.
right on 113 across from the new Tony and Ann's.
No.
No, that's CVS.
Is that CVS too? I thought that was
That's
Walgreens.
CVS.
Walgreens is
Bridge.
across from Market Basket.
Bridge Street, yeah.
Oh,
Because it's Walgreens and the car wash.
You gotta give Centerville more of a chance, Cliff. Go
Okay.
further up the street.
So Cliff, Eileen, is that a 20? I don't think that's a 24-hour store.
No.
The only 24-hour store that I know of Walgreens has is Plain Street,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Plain and Chelmsford.
And the CVS that Cliff saw on Bridge Street is a 24-hour CVS.
Okay, good to know.
I thought about the Walgreens that closed a week ago. Tewksbury spent the state of Massachusetts probably spent a lot of money reconfiguring that intersection and improving it, and then the store pulled out.
A lot of Belvedereans are very upset about this, too.
Yeah.
I've had conversations.
No, that's two Walgreens that
Yeah.
we've lost this year.
And the
Corporate
Rite Aids.
America.
Yeah. Well, I went to Rite Aid in Pelham over the summer, and they were selling everything to shut their store down, even the things like the containers that held everything.
Oh.
Yeah, we're very limited on pharmacies now.
Yeah, because everything's Amazon now. Amazon, or Walmart.
Can you drag that mic a little closer to your mouth? Thank you.
Yeah, it's sad.
But-
I don't know how the little pharmacy in Drake-It, I think it's called the Drake-It Pharmacy, survives. It's in that plaza with where ML Shaw's is on Broadway Road. There's a little mom and pop Drake-It Pharmacy in there, and they've survived. When I get mad at CVS, I'm going there, and I never follow through.
So, with my health insurance, I have a pretty good deal on meds. But does anybody notice? I mean, the president's bragging that he's reducing the prices. Are they going down?
I think they're going up before they go down.
No, okay.
Okay, so we got two comments from the audience. Eileen, do you feel like reading those?
The insurance lobby in general is corrupt and too powerful. Very true. All insurance rates continue to rise with no end in sight. DW. In regards to the homeless people, why is it okay for the firefighters to ask for a handout at intersections, but homeless people get chastised for it?
Because this is America. We love our firemen.
I was out there with the boot on Saturday for the Salvation Army, taking donations over there on Bridge Street, actually. Right on the bridge.
Well, the firefighters are not making $30,000 a year off of collecting money from passing drivers.
All you have to do is just establish a permit system. In order to stand at an intersection, you have to have a permit. But we'll get sued on that because the city doesn't have a good lawyer for suits. The guy with the little handicap placard or the placard to give me money, he'll get $1 million off the city because the city doesn't want to hire a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Do you have Express Scripts as an option on your health insurance? Because I think my mother has that, but we also go to Hannaford too, which is really always a good deal. I remember when my dog needed a prescription, and Hannaford was like the cheapest place to fill it. And my mother always has, we have good luck there, but I know a lot of insurances are going the Express Scripts route.
I get one item from Express Scripts.
Okay, maybe it's certain items.
Yeah. But it costs me a little bit of money. I get all my other medications for free.
Why don't you transfer them to Walgreens, I mean, not Walgreens, from Walgreens to the Hannaford in Belvedere, so then you never have to leave Belvedere.
They shut their pharmacy down.
They did? Oh, I
He
didn't know.
already tried that. He already tried not to leave Belvedere.
Oh, well, the
So,
other one is.
Did you have the school committee meeting?
No, next Wednesday is the school committee meeting, and thank you for saying that, because I have to put a motion in.
Oh.
So everybody's bragging you got your license back?
I did,
Congratulations.
I did.
Yes.
They dropped all the charges, what I read, so good for you.
I never have been so nervous driving in my life now, and I don't know if it's like the trauma from everything that happened or just but I'm like, it was an emotionally draining day yesterday because I'd go somewhere and it's like I've lost my confidence because of what happened too. But it's amazing how like you realize how, like, I was very distracted, and that is not right either. But it's definitely taught me a great life lesson, and I just feel so honestly blessed that it was only me, my car, and the pole involved, and nobody else got hurt.
Well, you're going to be a little gun shy for a little bit, but you'll get back up to speed.
Yeah, you just got something back that you didn't have for what? How long did you go without your license?
It was almost 2 months.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
now
And it's like we don't realize how much driving is truly a privilege.
Mm.
You know, and I think I just got to a point where I was go, and took a lot for granted. And now I take nothing for granted.
you don't appreciate it until it's gone. So you gotta.
Yeah.
Those 2 months, I'm sure, were tough.
Yeah. I was walking one day down to the funeral services for one of my friend's dad who passed away, and it was the day it really started snowing for the first time. And I'm walking down Billings Street right before Barker, and a police car like came next to me, and I like tensed up and I slipped and I fell on my face.
Ugh.
Nobody stopped to see if I was okay though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they said, "Ooh, bad karma here, get out."
Run. What did you call it? Snake bitten?
Snake bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe now, next time you're driving and you see somebody fall, you at least roll down the window and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, are you okay?" Because you'll remember how I didn't have a license. I just got my license probably within the last 10 years. So I never drove, and I wouldn't drive without a license.
Right.
And we'll just say, I became a citizen 8 years ago. So, I got my license and all that sorted out with that. And I used to walk everywhere. My boss, when I first started working with him, well, my ex-boss, he lived in Tewksbury. And there'd be times where I'd walk home from Tewksbury
Oh wow.
down here to Lowell, or, ride my bike to Lawrence over there, the Dunkin' Donuts. I'd ride my bike over there and meet him there at 6 in the morning from the acre, so
Oh, that's awesome.
leaving the house at, 4:45 in the morning, whatever it took. So now that I drive, I'm like,
Yeah, no, there's definitely a serenity to like the walks, and like even when I'd walk to Walgreens, I've walked to CVS over this time, walking a lot. There's a lot of serenity involved in that, and just being in nature. And so, I mean, I'm going to try to still walk to places that are close because I think it was a really good experience for me. But I am going to miss being chauffeured around by everybody who's helped me, and I've really enjoyed that aspect.
if it wasn't so cold, I would have walked here this morning. I walk everywhere still. I have to. It's like, my kid makes fun of me because I'm like, why take the elevator when there's a perfectly good set of stairs right there? Take the stairs. I'm not getting
Yeah.
any younger. There's going to be a day where, sooner than later, where I'm not going to be able to go up those stairs.
Especially in Lowell.
You know, so
Yeah, I think that's important. Doing the stairs as long as you can.
like I said, I'm not getting any younger. So appreciate it while I can. So you know, you get complacent, you get lazy, you take things for granted.
Yes.
I went so long without anything, including a driver's license, that now it's like, no, sometimes you got to remind yourself, just because there's a car there, walk, go. Oh, it's raining, it's okay. Put on your hoodie.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
So, Eileen, speaking of you're not going to live forever,
That's how
is
you.
the school committee going to talk about these efforts at new criteria for high school graduation?
I think the state has somewhat come out with a framework for it. I don't know if Lowell, I don't know if the state has officially come out with the framework for it. Like I said, Fred Bahu, Dave Conway, and I went to a night in regards to that, and it seemed like it was very union involved, and they want it to look like a portfolio in some sense. But I don't think our schools in the city of Lowell have got that far yet to really have a specific plan, to tell you the truth, because it's all so new. Kids still have to take the MCAS because they need some type of accountability measure right now. So until Lowell really figures out what they're doing with this framework, then we need to still give the MCAS overall. Which I feel like there's the same amount of stress, and it's all the same stressors that everyone's talked about and wanted to get rid of the MCAS for, teaching to the test and scores and so forth. So I feel like we had this vote and it's going very slow, but at least it's going in the right direction. You know what I mean? It's not like a Diana DeZoglio issue where everyone voted for it and nobody's allowing it to happen. They're allowing the conversations to happen and a lot of different things. So when I know more, I'll let you know.
Okay. So, Jose went to the,
Cliff, time to change mics.
all right. That was pretty smooth.
Just leave that one on its side, I think, so I know. Good, thank you.
It gives you a compliment on how smooth you were, and then you just almost
I
broke the
lost it.
table.
Yeah, I know.
See, don't compliment
Story
her.
of my life.
Wait till the end.
Yeah.
Too much pressure. Too much pressure.
Story
So-
of my life.
We have had a hunger homeless commission for quite a while in Lowell, and we have a lot of hungry people and a lot of homeless people. Since COVID, it's all been virtual. I don't think we've had any meetings in the mayor's conference room. But you went to the meeting that what was it, 2nd of December?
Yes.
How was that?
It was good. You know, a lot of good information, and started talking about the vision that we're hoping to have for the commission. You know, become a little more action based, and then we had the Greater Lowell Annual Housing Summit on Wednesday. So me and a few of the commission, Dan and a few others, we went to the housing summit, and you brought up so one of the stats they gave, they said that in the last 15 years, I think it was 20 years, homelessness has tripled. From back then. So there was a lot of good speakers there. One thing that I'm not gonna lie, when the panel was talking, kind of bothered me a little bit, just because I don't see it as a fix-all. One of the big things they kept pushing was vouchers, to advocate to get more vouchers for housing. And
Vouchers can be sold.
Actually, I have a gentleman who'd like to come in and talk about this whole experience with CTI and vouchers and so forth. So maybe we can figure that out. Maybe someday you're here as well.
Eileen, can you read these three when you're done?
Eileen, now imagine buying a condo that has no parking because you're encouraged by the state to not own a car, right? And yeah, very happy for you, Eileen. You're a good and honest person, Jeannie Belkis. Well, thank you so much, Jeannie. Thank you. I'll bet President Biden wishes he didn't take the stairs a couple of times.
Oh my goodness.
Right, because like as nervous as I am even driving now, I want to get up and do it because it's when you're scared. I don't want to fall into my anxiety and fear, right? Even my son's like, Mom, it's so weird seeing you drive. And I feel like it's only been a short time compared to all the time that I have driven, but it definitely was a
2 months is a long
hard-learned
time.
life lesson. So thank you. I know, but if nobody wanted you to have a car too, think about these condos right over here. What's close for them to walk to? For a store, there's nothing.
It's the MBTA.
Eileen, the
zone.
sad thing is, no, it's the city wants revenue. The city's run out of parking. The city doesn't care you have no place to park. They're going to let these buildings just be as big as they want to be. It's all about getting the city more money.
Well, and
The
that,
city council is greedy, and they cave to the manager. There's no parking required. There's a new city council coming in. There's nothing on the full front to get this reversed.
The council has expressed multiple times about, you guys are talking about the ones going up here where.
Heinz's was, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been brought up multiple times at different meetings where it's like you're gonna put up, was it 30-something, whatever it is, units there with very limited parking in an area that's already crammed, but that's part of the MBTA zoning. And I'm sure you've seen what happens to communities that don't comply with that. They start, I mean, it's no different than what.
Jose, the manager was, not the manager, the mayor was here. Danny's kind enough to come once a month and sit down and take the tough questions. And he said there's no mindset to change this.
No, and especially with the MBTA zoning, I think that it starts at the top, and literally right now, I think it's Drake was like, no, we don't want to sign on to the MBTA zoning, which anything, I think it's half a mile from the train station, you don't need any parking.
No, Drake had signed on, you have to have at least 2, if not 4 parking spaces per unit.
So they did ended up signing on because they were talking about not, and pretty much the governor was like, well, you know that money you needed, I don't think we have it. So pretty much there's communities out there that because they're not complying with the MBTA zoning or don't want to, they're having their funding dangled over their head from the State House, where if you don't comply, you don't get the money.
so like, so I guess my question is, what if a handicapped person wanted those apartments? Then they'd have a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? You know, over my time, I also took the bus often down to the Kennedy Center if I had to go somewhere. And it's still, and I would go into Dragonfly Cafe and wait for my next connecting bus, but it's still cold and it's still a lot of walking and it's still stairs.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what's the distance from that to, that just must meet the cutoff point
It
for the
does.
distance.
Because I remember Councilor Scott was like, you know, people are going to want to go to the market. People are going to, they're going to end up getting cars. And already that's a super busy area. I get off the highway there, especially now that I'm working in Acton, every day. And every day it's like, yep, maybe we'll make it through to this light, you know? I mean, but back to the vouchers thing, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm like, I don't like the vouchers, I don't want the vouchers. But when one of the solutions that we're putting forth is, well, we just get more vouchers from the government. Why don't we work on some of this? You know, they brought up red tape, and I actually asked a question, which I typically don't do. I asked the panel a question because they kept saying, like, you know, we got to show up to the meetings and, you know, there's red tape. And I'm like, well, what do you mean by red tape? I know what they mean, but I want to hear what they got to say. And they're like, oh, it's the zoning red tape. So zoning red tape is causing the price of housing, you know, building homes to go up? Or is it, you know, I was talking to somebody, they're building a garage. And in order for them to build a garage, they're required to, I think they're out in Drake, to put a charger for an electric car. You know, things like that. They don't have an electric car. Why do they need to do that? So maybe it's a lot of these
Bigger.
environmental red tape. One of the guys said, "Oh, I built a zero fossil fuel building out in New Bedford, I think it was, and we got vouchers for it, this and that." So one of the commissioners said, "Would it have been cheaper if you built it with fossil fuels instead of a zero fossil fuel?" And the guy was like, "Oh man, these commissioners need to get the heck out of here." And he's like, "Yeah, significantly cheaper." So maybe things like that is what's driving the price of housing up, not zoning laws. But zoning laws is something that you really can't argue with. People are like, "Oh yeah, zoning, MBTA's or this zoning." So it's not the problem with the vouchers, is that we're putting a Band-Aid on the situation by providing people with vouchers.
Right.
Push more education, push more higher paying jobs, whatever it is. Cliff? Oh, go ahead, Eileen.
I just have one comment in relation to this. Is my understanding that CTI and Section 8 are no longer giving vouchers, that the wait list is so long still that they're creating, that they are just working on that and nobody's getting a voucher.
I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah.
And again, it's not against vouchers, but
So these new houses going in, or these apartments going in down the street, do we think there's anybody going to use them? Are they going to lay vacant?
I mean, I can see how that would work in a Newton area where my son goes to school, closer to I think the city's going to have to come up with something, whether it's a shuttle to bring residents, a 24-hour something, in case there's an emergency. They're going to have to come up with something to make that more appealable for people, because the issue is it's not functional.
Nah, nothing's gonna happen.
was that the city?
City
building
doesn't
there?
care.
The apartments there, that's not the city building,
Yeah.
is it? I thought it was a private,
Where do you think
know?
they're getting the money?
well, probably from the state, not the
From the
city.
But the state gives it to the city, and then the city maybe doesn't spend it all and keeps a little for itself.
I don't know. I'll look into that because I'm not. I remember being in the chambers when the council was really very against building this. They brought up different motions about, write a letter to the governor about this and that, and But I'll look into that. I'll ask.
Hey, before I do my announcements, I get this.
Rodney Elliott's.
Rodney Elliott's party last night. Got a fantastic crowd. Congratulations, Rodney. And you can see down the corner here, Cisco's down here. There's a lot of other people you can recognize. I'm going to sit up so you can read the whole thing. But that's from Andrew Collar made this post on his Facebook page, and looks like you got a pretty good crowd. So congratulations, Rodney. Cliff, I'm going to do the announcements.
He says good.
All righty. And we'll go do the announcements. Come on, baby, open these up. Here we go. Okay, so today is Friday, December 12th. So today at the Lowell Senior Center, if you're over 60 years old, you can go over and eat there 7 days a week. And they have battered cod today. Tomorrow they're going to have hot dogs. Sunday they're going to have beef chili. So that's at the Senior Center in Lowell today. You just have to be over 60 years old. You don't have to live in Lowell. Out in Drake in Tewksbury, today they have macaroni and cheese, peas, and MG bread with pineapple cup. The only problem is you have to register to go there. So you just don't go, you have to register the week before, so you just don't show up there. You have to call them and tell them you want to come next week. All right, so then Chelmsford Senior Center, their lunch today is chicken, broccoli, ziti, and apples. Sometimes they run out of food. They'd like you to register a week ahead too, but you don't have to. Holiday dinner tonight at the Tewksbury Senior Center. It's $25 a ticket. You can still get a ticket if you want to. Just call the Senior Center. Good time to be had by all. Pints for a Purpose. That's this weekend as well, Saturday, from 12 to 4 p.m. at the Old Court. Get down there and help out Mayor Danny Rourke, Chris Stick from Pride Star Trinity EMS, and Danielle McFadden, Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. A fundraiser to help out the community. And Top Donut. Tomorrow, Santa Claus is going to be at Top Donut, and also Sunday. So Santa Claus is going to be at Top Donut over on Aiken Street from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So if you have a kid that's a little bashful, you can go over there, have a cup of coffee, and sit there, and the kiddo can look at Santa and maybe take a walk over and say hello to Santa. And this good service from Robin and Wendy Lay, the owners of Top Donut. Good service. So hope we can bring your little grandkid over there and introduce Santa to them. Moving right along, holiday open house at City Hall, lovely Lowell, Massachusetts, coming up next Tuesday, December 16th, 3 to 6 p.m. in City Hall. They usually have little munchies there, a little something to drink. Good time to be had, and it's from 3 to 6 p.m. Hope you can make it down to Lowell City Hall. Gift card drive. This is a great idea from the Gendron and Faria families. Foster kids who are over 12 don't get, Santa Claus doesn't visit them. So this group of people, the Gendrons and the Faria families, are collecting gift cards. So if you have a gift card and you want to donate to these kiddos, help them out, that's great. But they do have requests. They want the ones that are right here, if possible. So if you're out shopping and you want to drop into Ultra, Lids, Five Guys, DoorDash, GameStop, Dick's Sporting Goods, or Amazon, they'd love you to pick up a $25 gift card and give it to the folks at the Old Court. And they're going to have a little gathering down there next Wednesday, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Old Court. Hope to see you down there. Tewksbury Community Market. This is a grab bag thing. Some of this stuff's free, some of the stuff you pay for. And this is the Tewksbury Senior Center, Thursday, December 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. Hope to see you out there. The holiday celebration with the Silvertones. Live swing band, December 19th, 7 to 10 p.m. at the Tewksbury Senior Center. Plenty of parking there behind the building. When you drive by, it looks like there's not a lot of parking. Behind the building, there's gigantic spots to park. $10 a ticket for that if you want to head out there. Menorah lighting. The menorah lighting, Monday, December 15th, 5:30, Lowell City Hall. I thought Hanukkah started on Sunday. But anyway, doesn't make it. The menorah lighting is going to be 5:30 on Monday at the Lowell City Hall to usher in the holiday of Hanukkah with refreshments, menorah lighting, with Shabbat and Nashua Valley giveaways at the PJ Library. Pollard, I don't know where the PJ Library is, so not going to guess. That's my last announcement. Over to you, Cliff. Thank you for your patience.
Okay. So, I don't have a lot of information on it, but Jose, are you aware that the Northern Middlesex Council of Governments, NEMCOG, yeah.
They were at the summit. They were
Yeah.
leading the charge at the summit, yes. They were the ones that put it together. So they, like I said, there was a lot of good networking to be made and a lot of, interesting
Yeah.
facts and resources. We were there for 2.5 hours at the summit.
Yeah.
I met a lot of different people. The executive director from United Way was there. Julie from House of Hope. So we
You
had
get any good ideas?
yeah. I mean, he's building. I guess they're doing some housing for veterans down in New Bedford. But he was the one that said that they're building zero fossil fuels and this and that, but it's like, how do you keep things affordable in that way? But a few people, he had some conversations. They're going to try to come down here and see if they can build some affordable housing down here in Lowell.
Now, Jose, you work with cement, roofing materials, all kinds of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you go buy this stuff, do they have a a zone where you can walk over, where this is to build a poor people's house. Here's roofing for the poor people's house, lumber for the poor people's house,
Nope,
a toilet for the poor people's house.
nope, nope.
So they pay the same price as you?
Well, yeah. I mean, especially on the bricks and stuff. That's
Oh,
one
okay.
size fits all. I mean,
Okay. Thank you. Just was checking on that.
yeah.
Just out of curiosity, John, do you think that if you went up and said, hey, I need to buy 1,000 toilets, you might not get a little discount?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's...
I don't know, Cliff. I've never done that. But once government gets involved, they don't do that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean...
How effective is government in saving money? The government doesn't care. They have your pocket. Cliff, you voted to do this? Fine, we're going to go into your pocket and we're going to build them. We want the best for Lowell. I've been hearing that for a long time. We want the best. The best roofing material, the best lumber. And you want a deal on this.
Yeah. That's the thing.
You want the best refrigerator, the best oven. They don't give deals on those.
You got to pay for it, you know? I mean, that's the thing. I go to Home Depot, I buy one bag of concrete, it's like, we'll say $5. I buy a pallet of it, it's $4. I end up at any given time, it doesn't make sense for me to buy just, 3/4 of a pallet. I just buy the pallet and store it or throw a tarp over it and hopefully I use it on the next job, But again, I think that a lot of it is that red tape that we've put up, those regulations that even in Boston now the mayor is cutting back on. They were pushing these regulations, we need to be energy efficient and all this and that, and now they're realizing that that red tape is making sure that those cranes stay where they are and aren't moving. So now they're cutting back on them.
So, out in L.A. County, they're not making progress on replacing the houses lost in the Palisades fire. So red tape is a big problem.
It is. I mean, there is a such thing as doing too much. There is a such thing, and I think that sometimes we forget that, that there is a such thing as doing way too much.
The red tape is usually based on to make doggone sure the town gets their tax money. It's based on that. Why pull a permit to do something? That alerts the town to come and reassess your property.
Well,
By the way, property assessments, if you go to the Lowell government website, you can find out what the new assessment is on your property. Just in case you were feeling good and you'd like to feel less good.
It's after election season. These things are to be expected. The city's got their hand in your pocket. They're going to take all the money they want. We want the best for Lowell. Eileen, you want to read these?
Don't feel bad for the homeless. I'll bet
I'm not
they all
hearing
have
you at
cell
all.
phones and EBT
You
cards.
got to drag that microphone closer to you.
Oh, it's dying too. Can I
Okay,
steal
get her
it?
another mic.
That's what I did had it.
Thank you. Don't feel bad for the homeless. I'll bet they all have cell phones and EBT cards. Yeah, and cigarettes. They all have cigarettes. Wait till the old Furry's bar on Fletcher Street is developed on. That will equally be a horror show, Jay. And I'm going to guess the state told the counselors that if they want 70% funding, that they will pass building condos without parking.
And the last one?
Lowell's MBTA zoning aligns with the front-runner city to encourage the use of walking and public transit for people with disabilities. The state has the program called The Ride. See below. All right. Thank you, Jeannie. That's interesting.
So,
All right.
okay, back over to you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Jose, before you head out, ICE is garnering a lot of bad publicity running around the country. How's it viewed in the immigrant community in Lowell? Are they terrorizing everyone, or are they doing the right thing? What's the sense?
I mean, people are certainly scared. There's definitely But again, I mean,
Then are those people that are here without the proper paperwork, or is that everybody is scared?
a little bit of both. A little bit of both. We were waiting. My mom is a permanent resident, and we renewed her green card. And until the day she got it, like she was just literally, I had to practically drag her out of the house just to go to church because she was. And rumors just spread like wildfire. Oh, somebody got taken at the church over here, and that's how it starts. Fear is a disease, and once you start putting fear on people, it spreads like wildfire. But even with my own mother, like literally I had to lady, like you're okay, we're going to church, like we're not, and your status is good, like you're a permanent resident. And she's like, yeah, but it took longer than expected. I haven't gotten my new one, and mine expired yesterday, which it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the status. It's just a card, And it's like, relax. But, I mean, it's definitely, people are definitely afraid. People are, and not everybody that's necessary here undocumented. Just, I know citizens that are, I've only been a citizen for 3 years. After 5 years, then they can't revoke
Jose,
that.
where is your proof of citizenship?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Maybe my real ID now that I got one, but other than that, I don't have one. Especially in Massachusetts where people can you don't need to have a legal status to get a license. So now it's not like, I have my ID, look, I'm legal.
Do you have a picture of your license in your phone? I know your phone's not working right now, but something that everyone should consider. Take your driver's license out of your pocket, take a picture of it with your phone. So if you get caught without your physical driver's license, you got a picture. Take a picture of the front and back.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought, because there has been times where I've left my license at the bank before.
I'm going to do this because Jeannie Boca said this, and this is what the city's going to do. The mayor's not going to pick you up and drive you over to the train station. They have all these where you can request a taxi. This is what they did in Boston. If you're handicapped, here's for the handicapped people, and the wheelchair accessible taxi cabs are here. Request a wave taxi discount program, public transit, accessible parking spots. And this is how the city of Boston's helping out their people, and I'm going to guess this is how Lowell's going to help out the people who buy a condo at the Heinz project.
Kind of similar, but not the same.
Thank you, Jeannie.
CTI, I just found out yesterday, actually offers. They got a grant where if you need a ride to get to the food pantry and back home, if you reach out to CTI, they can schedule that for you. They schedule a Lyft or an Uber for you to get picked up, brought to the food pantry, and then get a ride back home.
That's good. And I think if Lowell's going to do this, we just need to make sure that all that information is accessible before you're going to try to sell these apartments, condos. And it needs to be clear to people that this is the way they would be able to get around. I also know there's a state department, it's called Massability, and I know that's another reference for rides, and I know that Mass Health does provide rides for people or will reimburse Uber for you depending on where you need to go.
It has to do with the real estate salesman is a fantastic salesman. I live in a condo in Happy Hampton Beach, 3 stories high, with no elevator. So what happens is, when the realtor is showing the property, he walks up the first flight of stairs and says, "Have you guys ever owned a condo in Hampton?" He'll have a little conversation at the top of the first flight of stairs. And the second flight of stairs says, "Oh, hey, I want to show you this. Come on over here." And he'll walk them to a window where they can see the ocean, and it's beautiful. And then he brings them up to the 3rd floor. And he brings them into the unit. Now, he keeps them busy. They don't realize there's no elevator. So that's what realtors do. So the realtor will park on the property. Here, I'll pick you up. I'll pick you up, because there's no parking over there. I'll pick you up.
First class treatment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he'll drive you over there. And come on inside. It's cold. It's wicked. Let's go right. Come on. This place is beautiful. And you won't realize there's no parking until you buy the place. That's how real estate agents do things. Not all, but some.
We all have a job to do, you know. Can't have good without evil. But no, we'll see what happens. I think that all those condos go in there. I mean, hopefully it pans out, but that area is just way too congested as it is. It's already a nightmare, and now you're putting all these units there. So we'll see what happens. But I have to get out of here. I have some granite that I need to go have a conversation with out in Acton. So everybody enjoy your weekend. I'll be at Old Court tomorrow at some point, and I'll be at Erin's event, the gift card event too. So maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, I'll see you on the 17th at Cobblestones. Bring a gift card. You guys are great, and have yourself a wonderful weekend.
You too, Jose.
You too.
Jose, you have fun down in the Republic of Ectonia. They're very rich down there. Very wealthy community. The Republic of Ectonia. I have a friend that lives down there, so that doesn't happen in Acton. No, the police drive you home here. They do? Yep, that's what happens in Acton.
Hey.
Eileen, you want to read these three?
Yes. Talk about red tape. How much money has been sent on the front runner city already? Jay. Holy smokes, imagine depending on the worst public transit system in the country to get you where you need to go. That's rich, Bart. And the fear is installed in people when the media lies and distorted the facts about the migrant crisis. Jay.
And this last one is lengthy. I don't expect you to read it. Just take a picture with your fancy phone.
MRC Resource the Ride.
This is what the city's going to tell you how to get from your condo that you pay $300,000 for to hop on the public bus. Yep, hop on the bus. Thanks, Jose. And they'll help you out. And there's a process that you go through. And good luck to them. The Ride Eligibility Center. Yeah, if you buy one of those condos, hope you like to walk.
So, in the first hour, we talked a little bit about free speech. And a law professor down, I think, Georgetown University, Jonathan Turley, wrote, "The European Union has virtually declared war on free speech and is targeting American companies. They just happened to begin with their first fines. Not surprisingly, X was the chosen target. The company blamed by many in the European Union and the U.S. for rolling back free speech protections."
X meaning Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my impression was that when Elon Musk took over, we got more free speech, not less. So
I agree.
Well, I don't like the foggy words they use. Affordability. What's affordability? Nobody asked the governor what affordability is. Very foggy word. Cliff, can you speak with any kind of confidence what affordability means?
Well, in my mind, affordability means can we purchase it with actual tax dollars and not have to print money to afford it, not have to go into debt.
That's what you think it is, but is there any definite definition of what affordability is?
I don't think there is a definite definition. unless you're running the dictionary. That
Would you agree there are too many foggy words out there that are used by the political climate?
well, I agree that that's true, and also words have been distorted to not mean what they actually mean. For instance, the Affordable Care Act. It turns out it wasn't. So that was a foggy use of the word. I mean, you don't think the Affordable Care Act is affordable, do you, John?
No, I don't.
Yeah. I think we have a serious problem there. That people are using different words different ways. And for instance, this thing about military people should not obey illegal orders. This is not something new. I mean, they're making it sound like they have found something new, but it's not something new. We've known this for a long time. That you wouldn't, or would you, obey, let's say a policeman gives you an illegal order. Would you follow it?
Absolutely, because I'm going to do anything they ask me to do if I'm in custody, or they tell me anything, because that's what I'm trained to do, like listen, like law enforcement, and listen to, and it's scary, the power that they have, and the fact that they use that power to control others, or to make an outcome more appropriate for them, or whatever that may be. And it's, listen, we've seen it with the Karen Reed case. We've seen it with the Sandra Birchmore case. They did a great job with the Brian Walsh case, thank God. But,
Well, the police can lie to you, but you can't lie to them.
yes, they can omit information or make, yes.
I had an incident where they told, we have you on video walking through that building. And I said to the guy, looked at the cop right in his face, I says, that I want to see. That I want to see. Because I never walked into that building. So I said, let's call your supervisor. Oh, no, he backpedaled real quick.
That's very interesting.
Government speak, affordability, and market rate, foggy words. Good point.
Yes. I've never seen so much red tape around that. And, like I said before on the show, like early on The Sopranos, in early 2000s, we're talking about affordable housing units and how they were going to profit from it. And so, what's the overall connection? Even, I just got an alert on my email. Boston Herald Records request. Boston Herald Records request reveals that Maura Haley's office knew about Lamar Cook's criminal history. There's a lot.
Not that I'm trying to give out a lot of free advertising, but have you read Howie Carr's new book on mass corruption?
Howie Carr hates everybody. I wouldn't read anything he puts out.
I've been reading Margaret Nash's book, The Politics of Murder, the Eddie O'Brien case, and how that young 15-year-old boy was put away in the, I think they called it like a sexual sadism case, and how it was legitimately created because it was during the time the Central Park Five. It was right after the Charles Stewart case, and they wanted to make stronger rules for young adults. And it put him away for life without parole. Now the laws have changed, and now, we're discovering more that there was somebody else involved in this situation. And everybody kept their mouth shut. And, it's pretty interesting. But it makes sense for this state.
Yeah. Well, when you finish that book, how about you give us a quick 4-minute report on that.
Yes, Mr. Krieger. Monsieur. Would you like a PowerPoint, verbal, or written?
A PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, the Lowell Police have launched an online crime stats dashboard. So-
No, we all need to download Crime Radar. That's what we need to do. Oh, and I want to know where that is also.
Where?
There's an app called Crime Radar.
Tell us about it.
Oh, I would look at it often, during the past few months, and when I would feel bad for myself, and then I would look at the Crime Radar and just see all the things that are going on in the city, and I was like, okay, you're blessed, your life is okay, all right, this is not a good time. But it kind of gives snippets. You put in your location, and it gives snippets of, say you see a cop go by. It records snippets of the dispatch call and what's needed, and it's constant throughout the city of Lowell. It's constant even through Drake. But it's interesting to kind of know and see how it's all going on. And it not only tells you verbally, you can listen to the snippets, but it also transcribes it. Crime Radar, I highly suggest it for everybody to download. I meant to mention this last week. But that should be interesting. So the dashboard, what is the dashboard going to explain for us?
Well, it's going to provide all the crime statistics. They're going with maintaining trust through transparency. They invite residents, community leaders, and researchers to explore this tool. It's at lowellpolice.org, and it provides access to data from incident reports collected by the department. Using the CompStat crime report, short for Compare Stats, the police management system, yeah. So there's something out there. I think we ought to take a look at it and then talk about it as it settles in Lowell. So what are you going to talk about in the school committee?
Well, the agenda has not been done, but I'm making a request for the superintendent to work with proper school or city departments to survey the steps behind the Robinson School that lead to the Bridge Street pedestrian crossing, because those stairs are steep and jagged and crooked. So that's what I have, and I'm also going to put a motion in so that the schools all have an updated school site council so we can follow what all the schools are deciding to do with their money. That's all I got for that.
The school site council.
So each school has their own budget,
Yeah.
and they can determine like a position, like a literacy person, or what to do with the money and the funding and so forth. So and it's great that the schools have the empowerment to do that with their funds. But we often, just on the school committee, get this is what this school wanted to do with their money. And I think if we were able to keep notes on it of what happened in the schools, for each of the schools, it would help us, for transparency reasons, to have a better idea.
Is the school site council different from the PTA, PTO?
Yes, but oftentimes a lot of the same people are involved that are in the PTO because they see what the school needs, and so the principal's involved with the student school site council, parents are involved in it, maybe an administrator from Central, but just so we can have an idea of what they're discussing, what their school wants, what they needed, so we're not just told this.
Okay,
You get that? You get what I'm laying down?
I think so. So each school is independent in a lot of ways because it has its own budget.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the principal has the empowerment to be able to really help steer the direction for their individualized schools, which is great. But I just think that type of thing would be helpful overall.
Okie dokie. So, you want to give us a quick recap for the second hour on your niece who was the mayor of the day here a couple weeks
Yes.
ago? Rowan?
Yes, so I have actually a bit of an update. Oh, why was my kid texting me?
So, apparently this comes about because they auction this off.
Oh, I heard Jose say that.
Yeah. At the local radio station to raise money for the Salvation Army. And Eric, get your bids every year to get it.
Oh, I love that.
And then it goes to Great Lowell Technical High. So, what did you find, Eileen? You've got 50, 60 seconds.
Okay. So basically, just that she's a great kid involved in a lot of community, and if I was more coordinated, I could check this easier. So maybe next time.
She's going to join the Air Force.
I believe, yeah, she wants to be a nurse in the Air Force.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So a lot of great things.
So, all of you, thank you very much for dialing in, for sending in your comments. We appreciate the comments.
Oh, I got it. Yes, we
Go.
do. Thank you. She does Girls Incorporated, Girls Flag Football, to be sanctioned by the state she's working with. She works with veterans and the homeless, National Council on Trauma. She wants to be a trauma nurse for the Air Force, an astronaut, and maybe even a lawyer.
Have a good weekend.